With night falling, black ice is still a major cause for concern, so if you do have to get out and about in town tonight, please do so with extreme caution. Be forced from your seat and your windshield. Now, usually that takes place in the afternoon, but due to the nature of the charge, many are curious to see how this case plays out.
If you go to the Connection Homeless Center in North Platte, you may be surprised what you see.
That deer fence that the AmeriCorps volunteers helped put up protects over 60 different species of seedlings from deer, including this eastern red cedar. The snow has stopped falling for now, but road conditions are still slick, especially on the bridges and viaducts. The North Platte Police Department said they had 13 calls today about accidents. A third of those were fender benders and just insurance swaps, and no major injuries occurred because of the accidents. But like I said, with night falling, black ice is still a major cause for concern, so if you do have to get out and about in town tonight, please do so with extreme caution. That'll do it from the corner of 12th and Jeffers here. Gina, back to you.
If you go to the Connection Homeless Center in North Platte, you may be surprised what you see. Clean-cut people with warm hearts, thanks to everyday people in North Platte, making the difference in lives that could use any excuse to smile, even something as simple as a haircut. Up 3 flights of stairs at the North Platte Connection Shelter, you'll find Chandra Stroud. She is a hairstylist at Bella Boutique and was looking for a way to give back to the community.
We wanted to come in and do something special for them to get them back on their feet, get them back feeling good about themselves, give them that boost of confidence to get back out and get in the job world.
She has given 10 haircuts today, but it isn't the number of people she serves that makes a difference. It's the change she sees on the faces of those people before they walk up those stairs and after they leave her chair.
It's honestly touching because you have your good days and your bad days, but somebody that it completely uplifts them is just truly amazing. It really, I don't know how to explain it.
Some of the people that sit in her chair haven't had a haircut in years, and for Glenda Nance, it's been a while.
It's been 7 years ago.
7 long years without a haircut, and she couldn't be happier.
Exactly the way I wanted it, exactly the way I told her I wanted it. She did it exactly the way I wanted it.
Something as simple as a haircut, a friendly conversation, and someone showing they care can strike a chord with a person.
It's wonderful. It is wonderful. It is wonderful. Wonderful is the difference. You make a difference.
And restore hope to those who need it the most. Now, this is the first time that Bella Boutique has offered free haircuts at the shelter. They will be there one Saturday out of every month. Reporting from the Media Center, Ethan Harrington, News 2. The petitions are now in the hands of Cozad Mayor Nancy Meyer and the City Council. Orville Schmidt gathered the signatures because he wants volunteer firefighters to serve on the council. Mayor Meyer says they are considered a city employee.
If they're volunteer firefighters, then comes the question, what makes them a city employee?
We consider them an employee because of the insurance we cover.
The mayor says there is also a conflict of interest. The firefighter would have to recuse himself from a vote if there was a conflict of interest, and that could be tough if there's not enough members to pass a policy.
Then you can't pass it.
So you can only excuse one member, is that correct?
Correct. For the yearly budget, yes.
Yeah.
See, and that's wherein lies the problem, and people aren't understanding that.
The mayor says one firefighter on the council could work, but what if there were 2?
If Joe and John Doe both wanted to run, then would the fire department decide? And then they get the say of who runs? That's not very fair to the voters either.
The city council is going through the documents.
I'm speaking with the city attorney. We will look at a couple options, and then I can present those to the city council.
With communities like Ogallala, Lexington, and North Platte not having any stipulations in their city ordinances about a member of the volunteer fire department joining the city council, many are curious to see how this case plays out. But Mayor Nancy Meyer says there is no timetable for a decision to be made, and there isn't expected to be a hearing at the next city council meeting a week from Monday. In Cozad, Ethan Harrington, News 2. At the North Campus of North Platte Community College, there's an auto body shop tucked away in the back that you probably would never know was there if you didn't have class in it. But these guys do. Meet Pat, Larry, Gary, and Mike. They're all retired and all working to rebuild a car of their choice. They're all audit students at North Platte Community College, which means they don't get any class credit. They're just here for the knowledge and to have a place to work on their hobbies. Oh, and did I mention, they're all best friends.
Gary and I graduated together. He was a year behind me. We went in the Army together. And Mike He come in there along the way.
Gary's wife and my wife are cousins, so I've known Gary for a long time.
Well, Larry and I down there, we worked on the railroad together.
We worked on cars together for many years.
And the guy they get their knowledge from is a member of that group as well, their instructor, Don. They've had each other's backs for over 40 years and are still going strong.
I was laying on the floor, and I know my buddy over there is concerned about me because he started yelling, "Man down."
This auto body shop here behind me brings this group together about 5 days a week. I'm sure it's not the only thing. They've been working side by side together for years. They all have their projects. And for Don, it's a 31 Chevy. And Gary, a 37 Chevy.
I started working on the car with my youngest son, and so that was back before the turn of the century.
Larry, a 57 Chevy.
I'd always wanted a 57 Chevy, and when I was like in high school, they were just terribly expensive.
For Mike, it's got to be a 69 Mustang. And for Pat, it's a 2009 Ford Explorer. Well, that's his wife's car, and after he hit a deer this past July,
I had to work on it first this year before she'd let me work on anything else.
but his baby is a 55 Thunderbird that he drove over 30 years ago. They have to provide tools and materials, of course, which can be expensive.
$375 for a set of hubcaps. Yeah,
For hubcaps.
for hubcaps.
But it's worth every penny. And there's nothing sweeter than driving down the road in a classic car that has their fingerprints all over it.
You kind of get to put your own idea on your own label on the car. So that's probably the best part.
It's the reward, I guess, that you get after you're done with the job.
Of course, there will always be arguments among friends, Ford or Chevy.
I'm stuck right between two Ford guys, so that makes my life pretty hard.
In this row here, there's probably 2 Ford guys, and I don't know what these other guys are.
No matter how you rev it up, whether it's a dream car, a hobby car, or a car from their past, the passion remains the same, and for this group, the friendships are just as classic as the cars they work on. In North Platte, Ethan Harrington, News 2. It's homecoming week at Hershey High School, and while students are having a fun week, they're also learning about the seriousness of seatbelt safety. Nebraska State Trooper Ryan Hayes is telling the teens a seatbelt can make a world of difference in an accident, and this simulator is giving some students a wake-up call.
Kind of crazy how slow you can go and how it actually protects you like that.
If you aren't wearing your seatbelt, even in a simulated crash like this one at 7 miles per hour, you can be forced from your seat and into your windshield.
Officer Hayes also emphasized being safe in harsh weather conditions like snow and ice, but he admits the biggest concern for young drivers is texting and driving.
Yeah, it's very dangerous. Do not text and drive, and pay attention, because even that, it hurt, and it was only going 7 miles per hour. I couldn't imagine going 75 on the interstate.
Hershey Principal Mike Troxel looks for opportunities like these to inform students and put words with actions, something he hopes will help make the school safer for students and save lives. In Hershey, Ethan Harrington, News 2.